They have the vision, they have the ideas, they can describe the life they want in perfect detail, but months pass, then years, and nothing moves. It's not laziness, it's not stupidity, and it's not that the dream isn't real. Psychology says something else is happening underneath, something most people never look at directly. Here's the real reason some people dream big and do nothing. 1. The dream is protecting them. This sounds wrong, but psychology is clear on it. For many people, the dream isn't a destination, it's a shield. As long as the dream exists in the future, perfect, untested, still possible, they are still someone who could succeed. The moment they act, that changes. The attempt could fail. The gap between who they are and who they imagined could become visible. Psychologists call this self-handicapping, the unconscious strategy of preserving potential by never testing it. Doing nothing keeps the dream alive, and the dream keeps the self-image intact. 2. They're addicted to the feeling of planning. Research in behavioral psychology shows that imagining a goal activates many of the same neural reward pathways as achieving it. The vision board, the late-night planning session, the conversation about what life will look like. It all feels like progress. The brain rewards it like progress, but nothing external has changed. Psychologists call this mental simulation substitution. When the feeling of doing replaces the act of doing, the fantasy becomes the destination, and the real work never begins because the reward has already been collected. 3. The gap between vision and skill feels unbridgeable. Many big dreamers have enormous aesthetic intelligence. They can see, feel, and articulate what greatness looks like. But psychology shows this creates a painful gap. Researcher Ira Glass described it as the taste gap, when your ability to recognize quality far outpaces your current skill to produce it. Everything they make feels wrong. Everything they try falls short of what they can see in their mind. So they stop trying, not from laziness, from the unbearable distance between what they imagine and what they can currently create. 4. They fear the identity shift that success requires. Psychology shows that change, even positive change, threatens the existing sense of self. Becoming the person who succeeded means leaving behind the person who was still becoming. And that person, the dreamer, the one with potential, is an identity many people have held for years. Success would require grieving it, so unconsciously they protect it. They stay in becoming. They never arrive, because arriving means they would have to become someone they don't yet know how to be. 5. Perfectionism is paralysis wearing a sophisticated mask. Psychologists consistently link chronic inaction to perfectionism, not the pursuit of excellence, but the terror of imperfection made visible. If the work is never started, it can never be judged. If it's never finished, it can never fail. The perfectionist doesn't procrastinate because they don't care. They procrastinate because they care so much that the risk of being seen and found lacking feels unsurvivable. The dream stays big because small, real, imperfect steps would make it human. And human means fallible. And fallible means exposed. 6. They're waiting for certainty that will never come. Psychologists call this decision paralysis, the inability to act without guarantees that don't exist. They're waiting to feel ready, waiting for the right moment, waiting until the conditions are perfect and the fear is gone. It never comes. Fear doesn't leave before you act. It leaves because you act. So if you've lived inside a dream for years without moving, psychology doesn't call you broken or lazy. It says you've been protecting something, and that protection made sense once, but the dream doesn't need a guardian anymore. It needs a builder. You already have the vision. That's the hardest part. Now take one step that's allowed to be imperfect. Subscribe. Because here, we don't just identify the pattern. We help you understand what's underneath it.